Hello, it's Widowmaker here again with another video on the Lord of the Rings The Adventure card game. So this time around I'm going to kick off my playthrough of the core set content with the starter deck. Now if you haven't gone and watched my part 0 of that, where I went through and I talked about which cards I was going to get, and now I'm going to go through and I'm going to build my deck and I'm going to go and tackle the final quest of the tutorial. So I'm going to actually walk you through the changes I've made. So if you recall, what I did last time is I went and bought, what did I do? I bought a couple of them, so I'm going to put them into my deck. I bought 2 Urkin Brands, I'm going to put him into my deck. I put 2 Forest Snares, I'll put them into my deck. And then what else did I get? I got 2 Raiments. Okay, so you can see now I've put those extra 8 cards in, so I've actually got 8 cards over at the moment. So I need to cut 8 cards out, and I'm already thinking there's some cards here that I probably want to add in lieu of what's there. So even out of the core set cards, there's some improvements to this deck that I can make. Now I'm running Gimli. Gimli's a dwarf, so I want to run a dwarven axe. I'll just put 1 in there. If it doesn't come up, it's okay. I don't mind too much. I like Erebor Record Keeper, so he lets me draw a card at the start of every turn. He's also got quite a reasonable willpower, and because his ability is an upkeep ability, I don't have to worry about using it as a power. So powers exhaust him, but upkeep just happens, right? So Erebor Record Keeper, he is expensive, but I'll take 1 of them. It doesn't matter if I don't get him because I'm planning on using Aragorn's power most turns. So I'm probably not going to be swimming in resources, but a bit of extra is nice. Now, for some reason or other, this starter deck only has a single copy of Gandalf. I'm going to put a second copy in because it's the only way that I can reduce threat. So Gandalf's got an ability that when he comes into play, I can either draw 3 cards, deal 3 damage, or lose 3 threat. If you're not running Spirit, he's the only way for you to reduce a threat outside of a single lore card at the time that this is being recorded. So I'm just having a look through now. What else have I got? Oh, I really love Ranger Spear. I don't know that I can afford to put it in this deck though. Oh, I love Ranger Spear though. No, it's fine. I'll probably come back to that though. I won't be able to help myself. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's probably all the cards I need to immediately put into my deck. So now I'm going to start chopping stuff out. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm only going to be drawing 1 card every turn, but I am still only going to be using Aragorn's power most of the time, so I'm effectively going to get 2 resources a turn. I did just put Erkenbrand and Raymond in, which are both, and an additional Gandalf, right? So I've put in some really expensive cards. So I'm actually going to drop some expensive stuff. So all of this stuff here is new. I only just put all of those cards in and they're all really expensive. So I've got to be a little bit careful with that. Not a fan of sneak attack personally, take it or leave it. I'm going to leave it out. Mithrandir's advice, again, I'm pretty biased in that I don't like events too much because there's too many cancels that Sauron have got that make your face really sad. Round Shield, I don't think I need. Sorry, you probably want to have a look at these cards that I'm taking out, but I'm going to take Round Shield out. Oh, there you go. So it's got block. I've already got some block in there, so I'll actually take out 2 of those, and I might put in. Yeah, do it. I can't help myself. I'm a sucker. You guys are gonna have to get used to this. And put Ranger Spear in, just 1. I'll be happy if I draw it. So what else? I've got to get rid of 3 more cards. What I might do is I might get rid of Advanced Warning because it's a bit tricky to play around. I'll keep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I guess I'll keep a copy of Gaining Strength, and yeah, we'll leave the rest as it is. So you can see I've obviously planned to spend a lot of time thinking about what I was going to do here. I totally just made that up as I went along. So we'll see how this deck goes. Now, fair warning, I did actually go through and do this quest once already, and the reason why I did that is I actually wanted to play through these play through these quests as on adventure difficulty. And the reason for that is, look, I guess, full disclosure, there's nothing wrong with playing narrative. If you want to play on narrative, go nuts. It does materially change the way you build your decks, though. So the differing difficulties, what happens is Sauron gets an additional resource in each difficulty, right? So he gets 3 resources on narrative, he gets 4 on adventure, he gets 5 on challenge. He also gets additional cards. Not cards in his hand. He just gets, there's cards that are in challenge that aren't in narrative. So some particularly nasty ones in there. And so there'll be cards you won't see unless you play on challenge. The other thing that really makes a big difference is that on adventure and challenge you only draw 1 card a turn, whereas on narrative you draw 2. So if you're playing on narrative, it really changes the way you build your decks because you tend to shift your resource curve a lot on the lower side of things, right? Whereas on adventure and challenge, heroes like Faramir who draw a card whenever he kills something, or that Erebor record keeper, are a lot more valuable because the card draw is really important. You'll often find yourself with very few cards in hand, and you tend to be playing more of those cards like Gandalfs and Erkenbrands and Raymonts because they're more expensive. I wanted to make this a playthrough on adventure, and when you play this the first time, they force you to play narrative because of presumably people want to go in and they play on the hardest difficulty and then go and complain the game's too hard. So, the first time you play this, you will play it on narrative. You'll draw 2 cards a turn. In this case, I'm going to play it on adventure. So it's going to be probably a little bit harder than what you're used to, what you'll experience on your first pass. I'm quietly confident though, so hopefully you don't get to see me make a goose out of myself on stream. Cool. So here we go. Okay, so that's a fairly reasonable hand. I do like most of those actually. I might ship him back, and I might ship him back. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Another Gandalf. Gandalf really wanted to be in my hand. All right, so we should always be aware of the quest objectives. So we have to defeat 4 spider units or defeat every enemy in play, and that will trigger the travel option on the board. The other thing we've got to keep an eye on is after 3 turns or 3 increased threats, if he does nasty things, it's going to spawn 3 forest spiders, which are these guys. That's a location-specific threat event, so we want to try and dodge that if we can. So maybe Gandalf being in our hand might be really useful. We've got we've got a Ranger's Cache over here, gives us 2 resources. That's not location-specific, and an Elven Scout, which is a 3/6 range Sylvan Archer dude, I think. But again, he's not location-specific, so. So yeah, what are we going to do here? We've got this guy's quite reasonable. He'll take some killing. I just wonder whether it's worth trying to get my record keeper out to play, or whether or not I should try and take some of these guys off the board. Okay, so Sauron's going to attack with this guy first anyway, and there's probably not much I can do about it. So what I might try and do is try and take this forest spider out before he can attack. So wasn't really anything I could do about that. But what this will allow me to do is I can crash into here with Aragorn, and that'll stop him from being able to attack, which is a reasonable play, I think. So he still hasn't spent any resources yet, which worries me a little bit. I don't know there's much I can do about it. Especially if I want to get my record keeper out, which I really do. I like cards, so I might do that. I may regret that soon, but okay, so he's free, so I don't really want to bait him too much. I'll just fade up with my record keeper. It's not much point guarding when there's only a single 1 attack guy. Like you might as well just let him go in. The only advantage of killing him is that it forces Sauron to play the next card. Um, what I really want to do is I want to get up to this +2 resources for each player. And the reason why I want to do that is if he plays something really nasty, so if he drops another Spiders and Mirkwood or something, and I've used all my actions, I can't kill him, it'd be good to be able to feint him, just so that I don't have to worry about it this turn. And that's kind of the flip side, right? Is that I've used my activations with my willpower rich characters, and now there's really nothing I can do about that. So the only thing I'm going to do here is I might, because he's still got 2 resources left, I'm going to guard up with Gimli. So defending him up, that'll give him guard. It means if he plays another character, he'll crash into Gimli and he'll take 3 reciprocal damage, which will be good. And if he doesn't play another enemy, he doesn't crash into Gimli, Gimli will still have guard at the start of next turn, which is going to be handy as well. Okay, so another hazard which will reduce my card draw to 0, but it does mean I don't have to spend my Ranger Cache, and Gimli won't lose his guard because he's got no resources left either. Cool. So there you go. So Gimli's there. He's ready to defend. So I'll heal up Gimli since he's about to take some to the face. I don't know why that was. I feel like I shouldn't have gotten a card that turn. Might be a bug report incoming. FFI, if you're watching this. Well, I really want to get this chap out because he's pretty good from memory. So what I'm going to do is I'll fade up with the Record Keeper. Alright, so the cool thing about fade events is they don't take your activation. So I didn't forego my turn to do that. So I'm going to crash into him. Alright, so I have to kill 2 more spiders, which I should be able to do this turn. So I'm wondering whether or not I can just not worry about these hazards at all, which might be a good way to go. Look, first things first, let's kill that little dude. See what Sauron has in his hand, eh? Yeah, it's not so good. Yeah, okay, that's alright. That's okay. So the cool thing about ranged is that I can actually get around this guard. So normally I wouldn't be able to attack him because I'm ranged. I can. Gimli can't because he's not ranged. He's short and hairy. Can't do that. I just wonder whether or not I care about 2 damage. I probably don't. I might just fade up, see what happens, eh? We'll see where he sends it. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, I'm going to shoot at that guy. Cool, so now I get the travel event, so that's handy. So I managed to evade this this threat event, which is good. I don't need to worry about these because they won't come with me, and this enemy doesn't have pursuit, so it's not going to come with me, so I actually don't care about anything on this board at the moment. So the options that I have here is I could play a self-preservation, which would be handy. I could guard Gimli up for the next turn, because that will persist through travel. So that might be a handy thing to do. And it's probably not worth using a resource just to bump Aragorn's. He's got 12. I'll put self-preservation on him. So self-preservation is going to heal him up 1 every turn, which will be handy if Gimli's going to take some damage for us and he hasn't got block yet. That'd be nice to get. It's probably, look, I'll do it anyway with Aragorn just because it'll give me 5 fate. I'm not massively familiar with this quest either, so cause it's only relatively new because the tutorial got redone very recently. So this is cool. This is one of the cool mechanics of the design, which the guys have done a really good job on. you know, like they have these forks in the quest, right? We have to make a decision around which way you're going to go, and they kind of give you a scenario. Um, I'm going to go back the way you came. There's a lot of spiders there. Oh, wolves. Excellent. Ugh. Wow, that's really nasty. Wowee. That's, yeah. All right, I'm going to put health on her. Oh, excellent. I knew it. So this is going to be really handy. So Dwarven Axe, it gives +1 attack or +2 of Dwarf. So Gimli's sitting there and he's ready to defend. I'm going to whack him down. Whack that on him. I could have also played it on Gloin. So yeah, that's a fair bit of attack. Now I can then turn around and swing and hit this guy before he gets to attack. Yeah. So the other cool thing about range is I didn't show it there because I was so excited about being able to kill something with Gimli. But range gets around flying as well. So flying is something else you can't attack with characters unless they've got ranged. So what have I got here? There's I should have taken my own advice, shouldn't I? I've got there's a location specific fate event which removes pursuit, which is handy because pursuit is also a blocker for this, right? So this little padlock means I can't send anyone at this, and the reason why I can't send anyone at it is this dude here has got pursuit. I can use this fate event to remove that. There are no other threat events going on, and I've got to clear this objective to progress. I did dance over that, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, of course, that's why. Record Keeper was the reason why I drew cards last turn. I take it back, FFI. Never mind. Look, I really like guard, and so I'm going to play my little guard guy. All right. So here's a good choice. So here we go. So we've got a flying guy. He's got revenge, summoning a Black Forest bat. He's, you know, pretty nasty little bat. So you see how I can't attack him with Gloin because he's got flying. What I can do is I can shoot him with this dude. And then he'll crash into my guard, which will kill him, which is nice. So the thing about guard, if you guys weren't aware, is that it does reciprocal damage. So normally when a character attacks another one, whether it be Sauron's attacking mine or me attacking his, damage isn't reciprocal. I do damage to him, and that's it. If you've got guard on, the damage is returned, which is quite strong. He's got pursuit as well, so that's really unfortunate. I might actually I can't do 3 damage to him, can I? No. So he hasn't got anything left, so I just wonder whether... So here's an opportunity for me to use this fate event here to remove pursuit from the bad guys that are in play. So even though they show up here, I'm hoping that they no longer have pursuit, which means that I can travel and they won't follow me, because normally pursuit means that they will come with me to the next location. So I'm here's to hoping that that doesn't happen. So I'm going to do that so I can clear this location away. Ow. My poor little guardian there, taking hits for the team. I'm going to fade up with my record keeper. So you can see how having a guy like the record keeper, letting you draw an additional card, if you're only drawing 1 card, being able to draw 2 makes a massive difference. Alright, so I'm going to go in there. Alright, and I'm going to travel. Because I don't want to sit there for another turn and take a whole bunch more damage from them. Yeah. Okay. Rightio. This is a lot of flying. I'm not equipped to deal with all this flying. Ew. Looks like Gandalf's getting played this round. Alright, so he's got some guard dudes down. So Confusing Shadow, which has an upkeep of increasing my threat, which I don't like so much. He's got these dudes which will spawn more little bats when I kill them. And this chap has got, wow, okay, so he's got flying and he's got stalwart, which means he'll attack twice. He's got vanquish, which means when he kills something, he'll heal himself. So that doesn't seem great. So this is what I was talking about. If you watch my previous video about Forest Snare, I can't use Feint on this bat because he is a named dude. You know, his name is Mr. Giant Bat. So there's something here which will exhaust him, and that's handy because that will bring him to the ground so I can kill him. Just wondering whether Gandalf's the right play here. Alright, so Sauron will go for the kill. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my Guard of the Citadel to crash into that. So I kind of played around Sauron's predictability there. He was going to kill that guy anyway, and I thought instead of just leaving him there and letting him take the hit, I'd crash into one of his dudes and then he would just attack me. I didn't do the reciprocal damage, but it wasn't going to kill him anyway, so it kind of doesn't make that much difference. I just kind of wonder whether playing Raymond on Aragorn's going to be worth it, because it means potentially I can get an extra activation out of him. Nothing is in lethal damage at the moment. I just feel worried he's going to crash into my little archer man. No, you can do that, that's fine. Okay, alright, well I'm going to block with Gimli now that he's got an attack of 5, because that's hilarious. Oh, that wasn't very smart of you, was it? So what I'm going to do now, because the objective here is to defeat the giant bat. So what I'll do is I'll go like that. Yeah, that's fine, don't care. I'm going to shoot in with my archer man. And then I'm going to kill this guy. And that'll be the end. So hopefully, otherwise I've misplayed. There you go, so I've finished that. So look, there you go, guys. You know, I didn't kill every creature. I didn't clear every hazard. I didn't use every fate event, but the score doesn't work that way anymore. So what you'll get, so this is a fairly standard screen. What you get at the end is you'll get 1,000 just for finishing it. So if you play it on narrative, you'll just get the 1,000. You'll get 500 additional for playing on adventure and 500 additional again for playing on challenging. So you can get, you know, somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 for quest completion. So as you say, I cheated. I did this once already before on this account, and the reason why I did it is because I wanted to play it on adventure. So the first time it actually gave me some cards. So it actually gave me Bilbo's Cloak, which I'll show you in a second. The other thing that you get is quest challenges. Now these are different for every single quest, right? And this is why you get this variable amount of fellowship. So what you'll find here is I've gone through and played this quest. I've gotten 1,500 for completing the quest on adventure. I didn't get this one because Gimli had taken quite a bit of damage. Gloin didn't take much damage. There was a threat event for infected wounds, which I didn't hit. I didn't play 10 allies because not enough of my ones died, and I didn't use Gloin to clear any shadow attachments. So, you know, you can play to this, or you can just play the quest, and, you know, this is what I do. I usually just play the quest and see how many I get just by playing it. You know, you can build a deck around getting these if you're so inclined, if that's one of the challenges that you want to kind of put on yourself. So there you go, guys. So I've gone through and done that, and to the point around your fellowship points that you get. So if you have a look, yes, this is Bilbo's cloak that I got for the first time of completion. I played that on narrative, so the rewards you get are actually quite reasonable. Because if you have a look, I also got you get 500 fellowship per hero on first completion, right? So you'll see here I've completed it with Gimli, Arwen, and Aragorn. And it would have popped up there before if you'd seen me play it the first time. But I could then go through and play it with another 3 different heroes. So you might actually have two starter decks kind of running side by side. If you wanted to, you could do it that way and basically get a whole bunch of extra fellowship just by going, all right, well, I'm going to play, maybe I want to play with with Legolas, Eowyn and Faramir, with my other deck, and build around with a deck with that, and then you could go through, play it, get a bunch more rewards doing it that way. So yeah, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go away and spend 5,000 fellowship upgrading my deck. And look, the reality is, if I put another 5 cards into the deck that I'm using now, it's going to be pretty much as good as it's going to be. So we'll have to see how I go. I'll have a bit of a look. There'll be some cards I want to take out of it, and maybe put a Naya in there or something like that. But there you go, guys. So that was the first playthrough of the tutorial. Thanks for sticking with me if you're still here. Let me know in the comments how you found it. If it was useful to you. If I was going too fast or whatever. I can go slower, I guess, but I'm just mindful of the fact that the video gets to about 30 minutes and people don't have that attention span. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you next time. See ya.